Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Phriends Club Podcast. We are your hosts. My name is Charlotte.
And my name is Fizz. And welcome back.
Welcome back. Happy 2025. It's our first episode recording of the year.
Oh my god. It feels so weird to be back. But yay!
This is also our earliest record we have ever done. It's currently 9 a.m. for me. We've had to change things around, but we are determined to make this work.
We've clocked in. That's what's happened. It's now a 9 to 5. Except it won't be a 9 to 5. We'll be done in like an hour. But it's so early. It's not early for
It's
me, but
very
it's
early.
quite early for you. I feel really bad.
Oh, okay. Bye-bye. I've lost you, Fizz. Not too sure where Fizz has gone. We'll wait and see if she rejoins. In the meantime, oh, she's back.
Oh,
What
I'm back.
happened there,
It
Fizz?
said
Where did we go?
unstable for some reason. I've opened a door. I went into the void. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're back.
Well, is it still bad?
No, you've come back now. You were just cutting out a little bit. Okay, yeah, no, I've completely lost you now. Can't hear anything at all. Fizz has gone again. We'll see if any of this makes the cut. Maybe this is what we get for recording at 9 a.m. Oh, she's back. Hello, Fizz. Are you with
Okay.
where were we? It's 9 a.m. We're recording. It's the first episode of 2025. We're ready to go.
Oh yeah, let's go. Good summary.
Now normally when we take a big break, Dan and Phil have done the most. They've done everything, but surprisingly, I don't think they've done anything since we last recorded.
Literally, yeah. No, we have all been having our prolonged pajama week. And right now, as we are recording, all they've done is 2 shows of The Door. That's it. That's all they've done.
Literally, which is crazy for them to be so quiet. Everyone was getting a little bit suspicious that they were planning something.
Yeah. Do you think they're planning something? I don't think so. I think they are just resting and they've only just recorded their text video, which I imagine will be released by the time we release this episode. But
Yeah, I think they were just having a big long rest. But yeah, the next installment of what Dan and Phil text each other, or would dap TO to the inner circle that know
without you.
anagrams. Acronyms, not an anagram. Yeah, that will probably be released by the time that we upload this episode.
Yeah, they said this week, which is the week that we are recording. Also, we haven't had our Australia and New Zealand photo dump yet, which is curious. I'm very
We haven't.
suspicious about that. I wonder if it's because they didn't take any or what. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
wonder,
we
but
haven't
like
had
they've
that yet.
for all the other legs so far. So
Oh, I have in my notes that the mullet made it to this year, as we know. That's like a fun update. We didn't know
that
that
is a
it
fun
would.
update. That is very true. That's the other fun update. Wait, had we talked about the mullet when we last recorded?
We have I think, because we talked about fan Twitter last. I think that was the last episode. We must have talked about it. I remember that discussion.
Oh, okay. I do not. I must have blanked that from my mind.
Just nothing from last year has been retained so far.
Absolutely not. But yeah, it's been very quiet for them. Now I'm hoping we get an Australia photo dump because they've done them for every other leg, and I feel like it would be a bit rude of them to not do a little shout out for Australia.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it must be coming. They must have forgotten, like
Oh yeah,
the
they've
was it the
forgotten. That's
Downhill Games
100%.
anniversary that they forgot, or Dill's
Yeah,
birthday? Yeah. I think
yeah.
it's
No,
Dill's
they've
birthday, not
100% forgotten.
anniversary. But yeah.
So Dan and Phil are back. They've done 2 shows. the UK and last European dates of the tour are underway.
Hmm.
Um,
Where are
this
you
is
going with
such
that?
a
You did so, you did really so well. Where are you going with that? It's
I
true though.
don't
That
know.
is. This is also. Sorry.
I've forgotten
No.
how to
Okay. It's not.
podcast. I've forgotten.
Okay. No. Do. Okay. If we're keeping all of that in, let's just
We
continue.
could
So,
keep
okay.
all of
Yes,
this
they
in.
are.
People deserve to
Yeah. Yeah.
see the real us.
It's true. 2025. That's what this is about. Authenticity. No, but you're right. The
Authenticity.
UK leg is underway. This is the leg that you are going to be on. Like you are finally seeing the
That is
tour.
true. I am finally seeing the tour because I live in the UK. For anybody that had absolutely no idea where I lived,
No.
so they're in the UK now, which is very unusual for me. I think we have spoke about this before. Obviously, they normally start the tours with a UK leg,
Mm,
so I'm normally one of like the
yeah.
first. So I'm not used to this being hidden in the shadows, not knowing what's going on.
Oh my god. Yeah, but that is part of what we're gonna talk about. Not yet. First, because this is just like a fandom chat, in case we didn't say that in the
Yeah, I don't
in
think we
the
did.
in the confusion of recording again, but this is a fandom chat, so it's gonna be very chill. And
We will
we
get
are
back
gonna
into the videos. We're aware we have, I think, is it three videos left of 2014 that we skipped,
yes.
so we could record
Mhm.
the festive diddle video. Which thank you so much, everybody who listened to that one. I think that really popped off. People love festive diddle.
And as they should, it's like I said, it is the superior diddle until they outdo it at some point. They are welcome to, but I don't think they will.
No, I don't think they will either. Um,
Um,
so yeah, we will get back to those videos at some point, but I'm incredibly busy the next few weeks. I don't have time to sit and watch a video and make notes. So what better way to kick off the new year with a fandom chats episode? And we also thought that it would be really fun if we went over and we picked each our top 5 unhinged Danafil moments of 2024. Now, to preface this, we have picked them independently. We haven't told each other what our top 5 are. So we're just we'll take it in turns to say them and we'll see if any match up.
any matchup. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. And I also want to also give my own little disclaimer that I misread our messages and I came up with 10, but I have cut them down to 5. Don't worry. But just letting you know that I do have 10 on my list in front of me. And if any of those match up that aren't in my top 5 that are in yours, I will let you know. But
Okay.
just letting you know that. Okay. Do you want to go first?
So shall we just kick it off? Okay. So
Yes. Yeah.
this isn't that these aren't in any order, by the way, because
Same.
how can you rank them?
Literally same.
But this was the
Yeah.
first one that came to mind when I was thinking about this, and it
This is
is
5, right? This is
this
your
is
fifth
5.
position.
Well, no,
Okay.
they aren't in any order. How can I rank them? Do you know
Oh,
what I
okay. Right.
mean?
Right. Right. Right.
They're all
Right.
equally unhinged.
Okay. Go ahead.
So my first one that I first thought of when we suggested this. Oh, I should preface as well. This was an idea sent to us by our friend Kat, whose username on Twitter I
Yes.
have forgotten. She suggested that we like recap Dan and Phil in 2024, and I was like, that would be a fun idea. What if we like condensed it into top 5 moments? Because if we recapped everything they did, that would be at least 5 podcast episodes, which we don't have
Yeah.
time to do.
We really don't. Also, we've done full episodes on some of the stuff, so we can
Exactly.
listen to
Yeah.
that.
So my first one, it is the Dan birthday stream, but specifically timestamp 26:59 of Dan walking in the sister Daniel outfit, and he's flirting with Phil. He's got his little like cutesy voice on. I wrote the quotes of what he says because I rewatched it. He's like, "How are
Mm.
you doing?" Obviously Phil is wearing the ripped black sweater of Dan's, and he's like, "Oh, it looks like I'm not the only one showing Hole right now." He sits down next to Phil, and he like points at Phil and is like stroking his arm and is like, "Oh, are you my angel?"
Ugh. You know
That
what? I didn't even consider the birthday. They are not on my list. That's crazy.
Wow! Oh my God, that is really surprising to me actually, because I think both of those streams were equally unhinged.
I agree, but I did not even consider them. But you're so right. Wow.
Um, so yeah, so the
Yeah.
whole stream, but specifically that little bit, like there was no need for him to be that flirty with Phil on camera. I'm like, please keep that to yourself. I don't want to see that.
Same. Yeah. I think it's just that he becomes a different person when he puts her on. You know what I mean? It's just
Oh,
different
I
energy.
absolutely agree.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's
Fizz.
a good one. Now I feel kind of
But-
okay. Yeah.
No, I think yours will be good. Hit us with your first one. What is your first unhinged NFL moment of 2024?
Okay. So my one is I've put in the Good Omens costume for Halloween.
Okay. Yeah.
That is 5 for me. There are things lower than that and higher than that, but that's 5 for me. And I think that's because we were kind of expecting some sort of couple costume, but we were not, like, it still shook us to our core. Like, it's still so unexpected, but so them. And I think regardless of what they'd done, we would have lost our minds. But I think it's just so them and unhinged and just like, yeah, I don't know. Also, they look great. Like the entire time, they look,
They do.
every
They
picture that we
really do
got,
look great.
like, I think they really committed to it. And yeah, I loved it, but I hated it, but I loved it.
The husbands of it all.
Exactly. So yeah, that's my first one. What is your second one that you have?
My second one. Okay. I'm gonna have to filter some of these because I did write like 9 down. But
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's just too much.
there are too many. My second one. This was one the second. I'll just go down the list because these are obviously what I thought of in my head immediately. So I feel like they
Mm.
must be unhinged that they've come to mind. My second one is Phil being credited as the remote crisis management in Dan's We're All Doomed recording.
Yeah, yeah, that was unhinged. That was very like,
Like there
why would he
was
say that?
absolutely no need for Phil to be credited in that at all. Phil had absolutely, I presume he had like a little bit of creative input, but in the case of like Dan asking him, "Oh, how does this sound? What do you think about this?" But Phil had
Mm.
no involvement in that. He didn't like. It's not like he produced it. He didn't help with it. He had no involvement whatsoever. But Dan was still like, "No, like I gotta mention him somehow. Like I need some way to filter him in." And it led to a lot of like just speculation and like lots of other like not like speculation but like theories and like discussions around how like Phil is the first person that Dan would call in a crisis. And then we got the lore dump from
Mm.
that interview they did, that it was like 3 a.m. in Australia or something. And Dan had to call Phil because there was like, was it the hurricane, I think, and floods or something like that?
I think so. Yeah, and he was like, "Should I cancel or something?"
Yeah. But yeah, just there was, we didn't need, there's just no need for us to know that or for Phil to have been credited. But Dan was like, no, like I still have to mention him. Like this man that helped me obviously throughout the solo tour, and it would be wrong of me if I didn't like him. So unhinged, disgusting.
Disgusting. I hated it. I really, really did. Um, that's a good one. These are all, yours is so early. I feel like mine are very scattered and very like general. So
Yes, hit us with your second one.
my next one is very conceptual. Like, it's not like one event that happened, but it's the joint Instagram posts for like 10 months straight. Like,
Yeah, no, I agree.
April, since April to now, they have not put out a single non collaboration like Instagram post, which is so unhinged. It's so crazy. It's like they are that quote from Dan that's like we are chained together, like whatever, like physically, emotionally, reputationally, and now like Instagramically, like
Literally.
cannot be separated. They
There's
are
that
one
one Phil
account.
quote. There's that one Phil quote as well. I can't remember what gaming video it is, but I think they're talking. I don't know which one it is, but he's like, "You would turn into me, and I would turn into you,
Mm,
and like we're all the same." It's like, so you're just the same person. Is that what you're telling us now?
essentially, yeah. Ugh, yeah, that I find very disgusting.
No, I
And it's
agree
like,
with that.
can you be your own person? But apparently not. Not anymore.
I think this also is coupled with the realization that Dan and Phil Games is just a couple's YouTube channel now. Like that's all that is.
They've not played a game in so long. It's like us being like, oh yeah, we're gonna recap like all of the videos and then we just do other things. But worse.
We're getting to them. We're getting to them. We will, we promise. We're so sorry. Thank you, dedicated listeners, for sticking with us. Maybe, maybe we're like Downfall Games. Like people don't come to actually like hear us talk about the videos. They just come for the bants. Like I'm not watching
Maybe
Downfall
they do.
Games for the games. We're watching for the bants.
Exactly. Oh my god.
Okay. My next one.
Number
So
three.
my number three, on my list. Um, I'm gonna have to have a think. Right. Okay. I'm gonna pick this one. I'm just going through my
Mm.
list. The sheer audacity of them naming the video Faniversary Newlyweds Game. I think that is
That was on mine as
diabolically
well. Yeah.
unhinged. Yeah, rightly so. Like diabolically unhinged and disgusting. To first of all say the words Faniversary, like okay, you shouldn't know those words, but whatever. Secondly, to call it newlyweds. Like, I'm sorry, are we married now? Like, when did we get married? When was the wedding?
when,
Who
when
proposed
was
to
the
who?
wedding?
Yeah,
When
I
did
want
this
the
happen
details.
exactly?
I think as well, just the sheer audacity to call it that, like,
Mm.
and have no prior of them ever talking publicly, really, about anything that, like, relationshipy. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all a very big case
Mm.
of they know we know that we know that they know we know they know, but we don't
Exactly.
talk about it. And I think that's one of like the biggest things of them referring to themselves, apart from in the Q&A that they did on Phil's channel, where they referred back to the wedding. But
Mm.
like, just keep that to yourself. I don't want to think. You don't need to publicly tell us that you're newlyweds. Like, I'm very well aware that you are. Just don't tell us.
So, yeah. Like, can we have some separation of church and state? Like, we can joke about that because that's our thing. Like, get out of
But
our
you, yeah,
house.
get out of our house. Get out of my walls, please.
Please.
Yeah. So that's one of mine. There we go. That's my third one. And I've just stolen one of
Okay.
yours, Fizz. So if you can do an honorary mention for the other 20 million that you picked.
No, that was one of my honorary. Like, I had pushed it down
Oh,
because I was
okay.
like, yeah. It's on my list though. So my third one is the Dunham Crafts return, the finale. I should hope so. I hope, like, I don't know how much more they could do with that, but the fact that they
Yeah,
brought
I
it
definitely
back,
feel like it's finale.
yeah, the fact that they brought it back, the concept of the video, the merch, the hands, the sacrifice, all of it, I was like, this is crazy. It's very them, but it's so insane and unhinged. And
Very insane and hinged.
yeah,
Whilst I was looking up my things to discuss, I did Google the meaning of unhinged, and I think it perfectly describes them. The Oxford Dictionary definition is the violent acts of unhinged minds, mentally unbalanced and deranged. And I think that perfectly sums down and Phil up, to be honest, and the things that they got up
I
to in
really,
2024.
I really do. You know, I agree. I think someone has joked, or maybe several people have joked, that they have the serial killer gene, which is so true. They do. I think they do.
And they could be out there killing people, but instead they're out here going on a world tour and making YouTube content. Thank
We should
God.
all be grateful. Thank
We really
God that they
should.
are just
I
nerd
genuinely,
losers instead of.
I think Phil would make an excellent serial killer.
Don't say that, you'll get cancelled. But I agree
I think,
jokingly.
I think that he would like because he's got that really nice facade. Well, not a nice facade. That's I didn't mean that, but like I feel like he'd be really, he'd be really nice. But inside, he's plotting.
Continue. Finish your sentence. Commit to it.
But no, like he's obviously like he's a very nice person, and I think that would help him get away with being a serial killer because people wouldn't expect him to be one.
Okay. Just a disclaimer. She is joking.
I am joking.
Please.
I don't think either of them are capable of murder. If anyone actually is, I was gonna say Dan, but I think he's too nice. I think he'd get scared.
That's what I'm saying. Like they are two like very nice boys. I don't think they
They are
would.
two very nice boys. Definitely not capable of killing anybody. But
Yeah. If anything, I
in a
mean,
parallel
one of the
universe,
you know, when they're giving in to their urges.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, so mine is Danville Crafts. I think
Dan Philcraft. I
only
agree with
deranged
that one.
minds could come up with something and like to commit to it, make that set, ask PJ to do the whole goat devil costume thing. I think
Again, they
it's just
committed.
dedication to the craft and derangement. Yeah.
I absolutely agree. That's a good choice.
Thank you.
Okay. My number
Second.
four.
Oh, four, sorry.
Well, my fourth unhinged moment of 2024. I think, I mean, it's going to have to be, I think it's going to have to be No, but seriously, imagine it. Like,
That's why exact positioning for
incredible.
it.
Wow. Like, I don't think at the start of 2024, anybody could have predicted that that would be on the cards. Like, I think if anything, that is the top unhinged NFL moment of 2024 to not only reference this Tumblr post from 2015, but to then allude to it months before when Phil did that, or was it like a year before or something? Phil did that tweet where he quoted it when
Mm,
it was announced that
when the tour was
my
announced, yeah.
yeah, when the show was announced. But to not only like bring it up, but to then record an entire video. The fact that everything fell into place, that they were going to be where that Where We Were Young Fest was when they were on tour, like the stars aligned, the universe aligned. Something was telling them that this had to happen, and obviously it didn't actually happen, but they recreated it and they uploaded that video for absolutely no goddamn reason whatsoever. And I still to this day cannot watch that video. I went to watch it while we were thinking about it, and I just got to the bit where they're like about to pretend to kiss, and I was like, no, no, I'm scrolling away. I can't look at it. My eyes can't see that.
Oh my god. No, same. So my thing about that is like everything you just said, the fact that like everything fell into place for them and then it also happened to happen on the 19th of October. I was like, someone up there is a fanny. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
someone whoever is dealing with all of this, if it's God, if it's the universe, they just love to align things for them this way. Um but yeah, I agree. Like the entire bit from the tweet to the video to them constantly referencing it now. Yeah, like we live in
Just
a post
unhinged.
no but seriously imagine
We
universe for
really
sure.
do. And if you're out there and you can watch that video and have no reaction to it, I applaud you because like I said, every time I've tried to rewatch it since then, I get to the bit where they're just about to kiss, and I just
I
have to
haven't.
scroll away. I can't look at it.
I haven't.
It makes me feel so uncomfortable. Not in an actual like uncomfortable way, but it's just like a no, no, I can't look at that. Like I don't want to see that with my eyes.
Even if it's a joke, I'm just like, this feels wrong.
Yeah, it
Um,
feels wrong. Maybe I am homophobic towards Dan and Phil.
Maybe you are. It's time to reflect.
No, that is complete. That is just a joke for the podcast. Please let me clarify that. Complete disclaimer.
Yeah. Good joke. Speaking of homophobia, do you want to talk about top spot?
Yeah,
Top
go on.
spot,
What's
like
your top spot?
fifth for you. So my top spot, I feel like is very obvious, and it might also be yours. It
Well,
is
I didn't
the
rank
RPF.
them. I just wrote them all down.
I
So
know, but I feel like the last one you're going to talk about is also going to be the one that I'm going to talk about. And it is the RPF poll. Just the whole circus of it. The fact that it happened, that people voted until they got to the end with Jesus and Judas. Phil reblogging it like a day before it closed. Them winning, and then Dan posting about it everywhere with his silly little like he tried to make it about Sister Daniel and Father Philip, and then talking
he was
about
so
it.
proud of that.
Actually,
He was so proud.
he was so proud of it. I get it. And to this day, even yesterday, when I think it was yesterday or day before yesterday, where Dan posted about the like the UK and Europe leg of the tour, and he tagged the Tumblr post with hashtag Jesus, which is so funny. Like I feel like he feels vindicated in some way. Um, as like
I think,
I
like
don't
on his
know.
deathbed, he would say that that was one of his like top 5 life achievements.
I think so. Like it would be like doomed, terrible influence store, RPF ball. That's like his top.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay,
No,
what is
I
yours?
absolutely
Is
agree.
it
Right, so
what is yours?
surprisingly, I didn't even write that on my list.
Whoa. Okay.
I think
What is
for
yours
me, I
then?
was thinking more about like the literal definition of unhinged and like specific things that they did.
Mm,
I know that Phil like
okay.
reblogged it all, but like I feel like because that wasn't like initiated by them, it didn't come to mind. So I was like,
Fair enough.
I think I was thinking too deeply about it and like what the meaning of the word unhinged was and how that related to things Dan and Phil have done. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I think the other one that I added last night, I think was them reacting to Tatanoff. I maybe not
Mm-hmm.
specifically unhinged, but I think just again, like the sheer audacity of them to do that. Like, I'm sorry, what? Why are we watching Tatanoff? Why are you talking about it? Why are we doing this in 2024?
That's so true. I think the more like unhinged thing that happened was that they did it, and then we had also recorded one. So it was
Yes.
like it wasn't a reaction, but like we did commentary on it at the same time. But you're right. Like never, I would have never expected them to do that, even though they did like reactions to older things. That
Yeah.
off is just like a
If
weird
we'd
one to
done
do.
this kind of episode last year, then them reacting to Pin-Off would have been at the top. Like,
Mm,
never
agreed.
in 3 million years would I have ever guessed or said to you they're going to react to Pin-Off.
Yeah. As a bonus, I would say also just like Amazing Dan reaction is very unhinged, but we could have seen
Absolutely.
it coming because they were like, "Do you want that?" So we were like, "Okay, so you're gonna
Yeah.
do it, like just because we
But
asked."
still, honorary mention. Honorary mention.
Definitely, definitely.
Right. Would you like to go through your quick fire honorary unhinged moments? And then I will go through the I think there's 3 or 4 that I didn't include in my top 5.
Yes. Okay. Just very quickly, in no particular order.
Okay.
Um. So I've given you five. I'm gonna go like six, seven, eight, nine, 10. So
Okay.
at six, I have somehow the terrible influence door announcement. Just the fact that they like I feel like like the door announcement itself was very unhinged.
No, I
Um,
agree. Yeah. Completely out of the blue.
the fact that
Unexpected.
Yeah, because we
Deranged.
didn't know that that was gonna happen. One might say deranged, yes. Then 7 is I did put Tatnov reaction, but I said the run of the Tatnov reaction, the fan fiction about themselves, and then date night, like that run itself,
Oof,
Unhinged, not a second to breathe. They were on our throats with those 3 videos
they
back to
really
back.
were.
Then I have the Tiny Horse calendar, just Unhinged choice for a calendar concept. Then I have the Faniversary video that we talked about, and then at 10 I have that one quote in an interview. I think it was like an email interview that they did for an Australian publication, and
Hmm.
the interviewer was like, you have previously suggested that you were once involved but not confirmed that you still are. Would you give us an update, blah blah blah? And then Dan was like, no, mind your business. So unhinged. Like so out of pocket and
Do you know
unhinged.
what? Yeah, no, I respect him for that. That was great.
I, it's one of my favorite things that he's ever said. It's so good.
And do you know what? Fair play. Yeah, shut them down. Don't let people ask you about your
Yeah,
private life.
yeah,
I
and
remember
you
the
know what?
like
That's
spiral that came from that. That like people were like, "Oh my God, interviewers are so rude. Like, people shouldn't like ask them things like this." And I'm like, if Dan and Phil were truly uncomfortable and didn't want that included in the interview, they could have very easily said, "Hi, that was great interview. Please, can you not include that last question?"
exactly. And as someone who like works in the industry, like this interview was sent to them before it was published. I can guarantee you, it like they saw it and saw it was funny, and they were like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
Dan and
yeah,
Phil are okay. They don't need us to look after them. They're fine. They're big boys.
they they are fine. Also related to just them being big boys and the things that they are uncomfortable with and not. I have a special mention that I can't actually talk about, but my unhinged moments also includes like various terrible influence spoilers that I can't talk about until you see the show slash the tour is over. So those are also in this list, but I can't talk about them.
Okay, an honorary mention to those.
Yes.
Okay, my last
Please,
quick fire ones.
please share.
Um, honorary mention. Are they married or going steady? I didn't include this because it's not something they technically did. It's just something an interviewer
Mm,
said about them. But I think it deserves an honorary mention that some old Australian man thought that they were married. Great, well done them. They're doing great.
agree.
Um, my next one is the WAD hat law that we got. That Phil,
Oh
that
my
this
god.
magic hat of Dan's is the only thing that can cure his migraines. I'm sorry, what? What do you mean? This
It's
specific
not
hat
even.
of Dan's is the only thing that cures your migraines? Okay. Would you like to expand on that, Phil?
Alright.
Please?
No, apparently not. But it's so funny to me. It's so because he could have any hat and put it to the
Any hat.
same tightness and it'd be fine, but no.
I honestly think when they talked about that in that video, he was scrambling for something. He was like, yeah, like just the way it fits on my head. I'm like,
Oh,
Phil,
you think it's
all
a
caps are
lie?
made the same. All caps are made the same. Like, surely they're all the same. Do you know what I mean? Like, they all fit the
Yeah,
same. You can tighten them as much as you want or make them as loose as you want.
so
I don't know.
funny. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
Unhinged.
I'm
No.
I'm I'm side-eyeing you, Phil. I know your game. My next one is Dan using the married life audio on a video of Phil on his Instagram stories.
Mm,
Excuse me? What, so we're married now? Are we married?
I think they're dropping hints that they are.
I like that. Is it that Kim Kardashian meme? Is it Kim? One of
Yes,
them. She's like, I like dropping hints
yes.
that I'm married. And it's like, I'm married.
Married life.
That's Dan and Phil.
It literally is. I fear for our lives this year and what we are gonna be told. Honestly.
Do not even put things like that out into the universe, Fizz. Keep them to yourself.
Sorry.
Um, my next one, again, super firing. The matching Precious Baby Angel t-shirts.
Yes.
What was the need
Mm.
for that? Have they ever worn them together again
Since
since?
yeah, yeah. You
Crazy.
have to imagine you have to wear them together. Like you can't one of them
Absolutely.
wear it and then crazy.
Unhinged, firstly, because they both owned them as a t-shirt, and then secondly, the fact that they're matching. Like, okay, sure. What do you want me to do with this
Sure.
information?
Yeah.
And then my last one, just because I was scrolling through like my Twitter, like going through like months and like video clips that I posted,
Mm.
in I think it is the first dressing each other video that they did last year, and it is Dan's reaction when Phil walks out in the all black outfit with the glasses and the scarf and the boots, and he's got Dan's like jacket on, and Dan is literally barking and howling at that man. He's lost his mind. I fear for him. I hope he's okay.
He was not. I do not think he was. I think he had to take a
For
moment.
anyone who has forgotten that, we will insert a clip of it now, an audio clip, so you can listen to it.
I present Look from Dan's Closet, Mystery Man at the Museum.
Hi,
Oh.
my name is Dan.
Oh my god!
I think this is
Oh my
okay.
god!
Alright.
This looks so good! I thought you'd look a bit goofy in the scarf or
No,
something. What the hell?
I'm ready to curate some exhibits.
If you were going to give me advice on design, architecture, art history, or just world history, I think I'd just listen to you based on what you look like.
Just listen to it. You don't even like his face.
You
is
don't even need to
quite
watch it.
amazing.
But yeah, he was a man on the edge.
And yeah, he was a man being edged. Sorry.
Or whatever that Tumblr post is that you mentioned last time, where you said a man whose penis had just exploded. Whatever that.
Yes. I think this was his revenge.
So yeah, that is all my top Unhinged NFL moments of 2024. It will be super interesting if any of you listening have anything that is different or anything you agree with. Let us know. Message us on Tumblr, Twitter, whatever. We're on Blue Sky. Send us an email. Send us a letter. Tell us, please.
Send us a letter. Give the people your address, Charlotte. Do it. Since
Okay.
you're suggesting.
My address is no. Yeah, it would be great if we could hear everybody else's and see if anything matches up.
Yes.
Or is there anything you disagree with? Do you think anything we said wasn't unhinged and was perfectly normal behavior?
I would be surprised. Please let us know if you feel that way.
So yeah, thank you. That was great. The next part of this podcast episode, swiftly moving on. There is no quick way to segue into that. I didn't do that very well.
There is no way to do it. No, you're fine. But yeah, the next section.
Next session. The big news on the street is that Charlotte is seeing TIT in 2 days' time, which is frankly insane to me that is happening. So I am meeting them and seeing the show for the first time.
Where are you seeing them?
And
give the people
I'm
the
seeing them
location.
in Brighton. I'm going in Brighton.
Yeah.
So if you were there at Brighton and you listened to this podcast, hi. This will definitely not be uploaded before that show, but
no, definitely not.
If you were
for a good reason. But yeah.
Yeah, we don't have enough time to do that. We aren't that speedy.
Yes. But she's gonna be
But
there.
if you were there and you listened to the show, send us a message. Be like, hi, you were there and I was there too. And I'd be like, cool, fantastic.
What a great interaction. But yeah.
So we were going to do a quick little my pre-tit thoughts. And then when I'm at the show, as we have discussed before, I'm going to record some voice notes of my live reactions, like before meeting them, after meeting them, before the show, after the show, like interval, etc. And then our next episode, we will come back and I will play them to Fizz live on air.
On air.
And we can have her reaction to my reactions. And it can just be sort of a post-titty review.
Exactly. It won't be like spoilery at all because we respect anyone who doesn't want the spoilers. But just
it may be mildly spoilery, which we will tag and pre-warn. But obviously we were aware that there might be a lot of people who haven't listened to this, who listen to this podcast, who haven't been able to see the show. So we would like to respect those people. But if you do want a full spoiler episode, then also let us know and we will give the people what they want.
Exactly. We've learned from the best, and we will do that for you if you would like.
So,
Do you
my
wanna?
thoughts, as mentioned previously. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Did you have like questions, or were you going to say
no, no,
something?
no. I was gonna say no. I was gonna say, please go ahead.
So, my pre-show thoughts, as we have mentioned before on this podcast, I have seen a few vague little spoilers around. So, I know a few things that are going to happen, but I think they account for maybe like 5 to 10 minutes of the show. So, there is a whole at least like hour and a half of show that I don't know what happens. And frankly, I'm a little scared.
Yeah, you should be, but like from what you've told me, I feel like no, I don't think you could be prepared, even if you know those things. Sorry.
Like, I know I'm going to spend the entire show with like my head in my hands, just staring, like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? What am I watching?
Yeah, no, I can imagine that. Yeah.
I can't remember if we have talked about it on here before, or if I've told you, but when I first went to see Dan's show, We're All Doomed, spoiler alert, it opens with a musical number. If anyone doesn't know that by now, I'm sorry. But it's out there in the world for you to see. So, I literally like sunk down in my seat, and had my head in my hands, and I was like, what
Yes, you've told me
on
this.
earth is going on? Like, I think because the previous two tours, they'd ended with the musical number. And I was like, well, why would Dan do a musical number by himself? Even the very fact that he had a musical number in it, I was like, what is going on? What am I watching? So I think that's going to be my reaction for the entirety of the show. So yeah, I don't think anything that I've seen, I have seen photos, I've seen like people talking about little bits of it. I don't think anything will prepare me for how insane it's going to be. And I know that I'm going to have the absolute time of my life, and I cannot wait.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. And also you're going with people. I think like a lot of friends are joining you along the way, right? Like not just at
Along the
Brighton,
way,
but
along my
and
titty
stuff.
journey.
Yes, along your own tour that you're doing.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay,
so I am
so what
going to a
are
few
your
different
okay?
sorry, go ahead. Start that again.
No, okay. No, I was gonna go straight into like what I like. Can we like get into your predictions or your
What are
thoughts
my
if you have any?
predictions?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I don't know if we discussed before, or someone else has asked me, but like I genuinely like, aside from obviously what I already know, I could
Mm.
not even like fathom together anything that they could do, because I feel like the scope is just so broad of things that they could do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that I could predict, oh, I think maybe they like kiss and hug on the stage, like that is not outside the realms of possibility with the Dan and Phil that we know. Do you know what I mean?
I fear that would have not. No, I don't think that would have stayed in hiding.
I don't
For
think it would
like
have, but
6 months.
like the fact that I'm predicting that and you're not like, Charlotte, that's crazy. Like, they'd never do that. Like, who
Mm-hmm.
knows? Who knows?
Who knows? Who
Um,
knows? They might change it up though. Um, but you do know like they've asked for things from people that like audience
yes.
participation in a way is part of it.
Yes, I have
So
seen little bits
that's
of that. So
mhm.
I think it's definitely going to have like interactive bits that of like all the sort of best hitters from their previous two tours, like elements of that
Mhm.
that they updated and redone. And They're taking back what the internet took from them, and
Exactly.
I'm
Please,
scared. I'm
please
so
confirm
scared. Fizz.
once you're back. Please confirm if they do that. Um,
Okay.
because we don't know. We don't know on this show.
Like, I truly just don't think that anything will be able to prepare me for
No,
anything that they could do on stage.
I completely agree. I think you'll be fine after a while, but I think in the moment it's gonna be a bit hard.
Yeah,
I
I'm very
think
glad I get to see it a few different times, so I have time to digest it. That is definitely
mm,
very beneficial.
definitely.
So yeah, I'm seeing it this weekend. I'm also seeing it twice in London next weekend, and I'm also venturing to Manchester because that's my closest big city. And then I'm also flying over to Ireland to go and see it as well. So if anyone is at any of those shows, because I'm hopefully this will be out before the London shows next week. If anyone is at any of those
Hmm.
shows and you recognize me or you want to come and say hello, I love the podcast, please do.
Please do. And yeah, I'm very jealous that not because like you're going to do the show, but the fact that like people are gonna meet you. I'm just like, it should have been me. It should have been me.
It could have
You
been
know what I
you. We
mean?
were so close, Fizz. We were so close, but it clearly
We
just
were
was not meant
really,
to
really
be.
so close. Yeah, maybe the next one.
Maybe the next tour.
Um, because we know it's gonna happen. They
It
can't catch us
absolutely.
off guard twice.
No,
Yeah.
definitely not. So yeah, but I'm very excited. I'm excited to meet Dan and Phil. I haven't worked out what I'm going to sort of say to them or anything like that at
Oh
the
my god.
moment, but
Does it work like as someone who's met them? Like, if you have a plan to say like things, do you usually say them or do you blank?
um so I have in the past been known to write like a full script, and then
Mm-hmm.
I get annoyed with them when they don't follow the script that I've written for them, because how dare they not follow along with what I had in my head.
Yeah.
Um
Charlotte is a Virgo, by the way. Like for anyone wondering,
I think that's
let me confirm
Virgo,
that.
and also like the neurodivergence is, seeping through.
Yes.
There's a bit of that in there too as well. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think from what I've seen when people, especially like Dan is very like, oh, let's do this, let's do that. And I think I say he's very good at distracting you, but I don't mean that in a good way. Like I think it like off puts people sometimes a little bit if they've like planned something and like he
Mm,
jumps ahead. But I think both of
yeah.
them, which I think I have mentioned before as well, they're both very good at making you feel like really comfortable and like at ease, and they don't rush you. There's no pressure or anything like that. So I do like to go in with sort of a vague idea of the order of what I want to do things and how I want, like what things I want to say. But I think you also have
Mm,
to go in with an open mind that it is like, oh, like I'm gonna say like I met Dan quite a few times during his tour, and
mm,
I was still just as nervous every single time. Like my body would like start vibrating, and every thought I've ever had would leave my head. Which I told him when the last time I met him at his last show, for Doomed that
mm,
I went to. Um, I told him, I think I just like stared at him and I was like, right, every time I've come around here, I've wanted to say things to you, but they have all left my brain because I look at you and every word I have ever known disappears and I don't know any words. So I'm going to just say it now. Um, I think they just have this ability. I think if you're as like deep into like the fandom as like me and Fizz are and like lots of other people, it's just so overwhelming no matter how many times
I
you
can
meet them or
imagine.
how
Yeah.
much you
Because like,
can
what do you?
prepare.
Yeah, like what do you say? Like I have been watching you since like I was a different person. Like what do you? How
Yeah.
do you put that in a couple of minutes? That's yeah. I can
And
imagine.
I think it's just the nerves and like excitement of the whole situation, um,
Mm,
just like build up, and I just forget everything. But
yeah.
I'm we're trying to be calm, and it's fine. And
It's
I'm also
fine.
someone
It's
who
gonna be
sets
okay.
incredibly high expectations for everything. So I'm trying to just not lower my expectations that I think it's going to be bad, but just if I don't get to say something, or if something doesn't go how I wanted it to, then that's okay. Dan and Phil aren't going to remember that at all. The amount of people that they've met and are meeting, and it's fine. It's okay.
It's fine. Completely. You're gonna be completely fine. And it's still gonna be like a good experience, I think, no matter
Oh,
what.
absolutely. But yeah, the next time we record, I will be a post-tit Charlotte.
I want to make a joke, but I can't. But I will context. It's okay.
So yeah, I think that about wraps everything up for today. I think that's all we had to discuss. We hope you've enjoyed this little catch-up Phandom Chats episode. Please do let us know your unhinged moments of Dan and Phil from 2024. That would be fantastic to hear everybody else's.
Yes, and if you are going to the UK or Ireland or whatever shows, let us know about that as well. And
yes, that would be very exciting. We hope you all have a lovely time and have a lovely titty life.
Yes. Yeah, so we'll see you next time when Charlotte is posted.
Changed. When I'm a changed woman.
Changed. Exactly. Goodbye.